Hey guys, John here. I have a great little movement combo that I got a long time ago from Steve Cotter, who recently passed away. So a little tribute to Steve here. And this will really strengthen and lengthen things, really mobilize, and just a nice way to get moving. It has this kind of Tai Chi martial arts flow to it. And we call this a teacup drill because it's imagining we had a teacup in our hand here and the hand was as flat as possible. I'm gonna use this yoga block as a nice, got a little bit of weight. This is a cork block, by the way. This is nice material, got a little weight to it. So this is kind of perfect for what I'm trying to do here. What we're gonna do to start is just move really slowly and just basically start to rotate. This has a lot of rich neurological position. So I'm gonna use my eyes and I'm gonna watch this thing the whole time. And I'm gonna come up and over my head and come around slow. Again, trying to keep this completely parallel with the ground, completely horizontal the whole time. So if I'm tipping in there or if it's falling out of my hand, I need to shorten my range a little bit. I need to shorten up and not make such a big, long circle. But my goal is to make these big, long circles, reaching out as far as I can. I can, allow myself to really shift off of my base of support and use my legs and shift, or I can kind of root down and focus in on a little bit different areas. If I want to work more my torso, I want to, I'm bringing in my hips. You'll feel this everywhere and you'll know where these sticky spots are by just sitting there and being aware, pausing in these positions. Like for me, if I come back in here, a little sticky spot there, or it'll also be a little baseline kind of litmus test for maybe readiness for shoulder movements. If I'm feeling a lot of pinchiness in there, again, I'm going to shorten my range a little bit in here, shorten this pattern, and I'm going to also sit there and probably breathe. This is another sticky spot for me too, so I'm going to breathe into this, and I might call this like a rewind. Again, using my eyes ideally to watch this. Take the thread off whenever we breathe into that and we get this good diaphragmatic breathing. We've covered this in a lot of other topics. If I can't breathe into it, I don't own it. Something else is going on that's really limiting me here too. So I'm gonna go at least 2 or 3 reps, usually each direction. So I'm gonna go around, this way, give me the fast version of this, and then I'm gonna go back through, or I might just do reps in one direction to keep it simple. Again, tipping this up, lots of wrist mobility in here. Great when you could do as a primer pre-training, especially if you're working into some grip stuff, and pulling, pushing, Highland game stuff would be awesome for this. You see it's a lot like our Scottish hammer. If I go this direction, a little rusty here on my left side right now. Again, sticky here, so I'd spend a little more time. I might rewind into that. You could hear it in my voice. I'm straining a little bit more into that, right? Big circle. So throughout the whole range, I want this big circle. And again, I could go backwards through the whole range. Again, keeping this as horizontal as I can, being aware where the sticky points are. Don't push in if it's more than a little bit of discomfort in that pulling. If it starts to get really painful, and again, if you're holding your breath, it's basically doing nothing. You're putting the brakes on and you're trying to drive the car at the same time, putting the gas in the brakes. It's not gonna work very well. So again, try that one out. One other piece here too, I forgot almost, is to go, once you're able to do this well and get good range of motion, I can add an extra element of strength to this by going and using a small plate. And then it becomes this really rich rotator cuff movement. If I can lengthen and strengthen at the same time, I kind of unlock my knees a little bit. I don't want to be super stiff with my lower body. Through that range here. So again, and I can just play with parts of it too. Again, remember that there's no absolute rule to this. I want to be able to articulate, getting all this to articulate this rotational movement, all that rich rotator cuff stuff into the wrist, through this whole linkage of my upper body. You really feel how all this opens up and moves well. So check that one out. And again, make it a regular part of your routine. You'll find a lot of value in that for sure.